Welcome to Belgro's Funeral Home, where we celebrate life's precious moments. From the moment you enter our doors, you're met with kindness and care. Our reception area is designed to be more than just a waiting room. It is a place of calm, thoughtfully created to ease the weight of grief. In our private conference room, conversations are guided by empathy. Here, our client experience coordinators sit beside you, not just across the table to help plan a service that truly reflects your loved one's story. Whether it's a traditional farewell or a personalized celebration of life, we take time to understand your wishes and offer thoughtful guidance. At the heart of our organization is a dedicated manager who ensures that everything runs smoothly, from the smallest detail to the final farewell. We understand that choosing a casket or a coffin is a deeply personal decision. In our selection room, we provide a calm, respectful environment where families can take their time and explore options that reflect their loved one's life, beliefs, and preference. Our spacious chapel is where memories are honored and lives are celebrated. Designed with serenity and warmth, it provides a welcoming space for families and friends to come together in reflection and remembrance. For families choosing cremation, we offer on-site professional cremation services in a setting that upholds dignity, peace, and confidentiality. Our crematorium offers a seamless and respectful alternative to traditional burial, giving families flexibility while maintaining the highest standard of care.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Today is Monday, November 10th. I am your host, Akinlabi. Hold on, it's good to be here with you for another work week. Yes, we started off the week strong this morning, people. I hope you're up, you had your tea, you had your quicks, you had your bread and butter. You're getting those children ready to head to school and you are ready to tackle the day and tackle the week. In studio with me this morning, we have the lovely Lavion Cupid joining me as co-host.
Good morning, Akinlabi, but good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago. It is absolutely my pleasure to be seated here before you. You have me today, and I am excited. Again, welcome to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. A brand new week. So much happening. The year is almost wrapped up. We have November, then December 2026. We are ready to make resolutions. But even before we get into making resolutions, we have election on the cups. But also today, viewers, we have the men's debate.
Yes, we have the men's debate this morning. Yes,
and
yes.
my very own here, the ever so handsome and eloquent Akinlabi will be a part of the THA, of the Assembly Legislature rather, international men's debate, men's mental health, men's identity. Labi, I know you're prepared.
Yes. So it's going to be a very interesting debate. This is the first of its kind, and I know all the men that will be participating. We're very, very excited for it. We are very much, we were longing for something like this, and all the men in conversations with them, they really want to take this opportunity to have this say in terms of the things that affect men's mental health, and for us to really start as a society to really move towards focusing and working towards bettering men's mental health.
I'm so happy that we are in this era where we're not shying away from those conversations, and where we have men that can make a positive impact in society, willing to come forward and have those conversations. So I know I'm going to be locked in. Hopefully I will be in the gallery. If I'm not there, guys, I hope you are going out and support. Once our men are getting out there and doing something, and also kudos goes out to Assembly Legislator, the presiding officer, Abby Taylor, and her team, her entire team. I did see, she said that she left the production of today's production up to the men in her department. So it's all men.
It's all
and
men.
Just like a good harvest, you know, once men have their hand in the pot, it's going to be good tasting stuff today. So look out for that. I'm excited.
Yes. So we really look forward to that. But we have a really interesting lineup this morning. But before we get into any of those conversations about who we're going to be talking to, we go now to our birthday shout-outs. And at Tobago Updates, we like to celebrate with those who are celebrating with us. And we want to kick things off with saying happy birthday to Mr. Alvin Douglas. Yes, Mr. Alvin Douglas. Most people might know him as Dougie. We want to wish you God's richest blessings on your special day. And we pray that you keep him close to you, and everything that you set your heart to, you make him a part of it. And we wish you all successes in the upcoming year.
All right. Happy birthday, doggy. And on screen viewers, we have Rebecca Beckles. Rebecca, happy birthday, girl. I hope you have a blast, and I hope you remain as beautiful as you are. God's richest blessings going forward in this year.
We move forward and we say happy birthday to Miss Candice Balfour. Happy birthday to you, Miss Balfour. Today is your special day. I know your family and your friends, they have something special planned for you. You have gifts, ice cream, chocolate, party, all kind of thing. We pray that you stay safe today and you keep God at the forefront of your thoughts, and thank him for all the blessings that he has bestowed on your life.
All right, and then we head into some belated birthday, some weekend birthday. We have Sparkle Alexander John. Sparkle, happy birthday, girl. I haven't seen you in so long. What a beautiful, beautiful soul you are. Tobago, our environment will be nothing without you. Girl, happy birthday, all right? I hope you had a blast, and I hope you take it all the way into the end of November. You be yourself, Sparkle.
And we say a finally belated birthday to Miss Jenny Richardson Bruce. We say happy birthday to you, Miss Jenny Richardson Bruce. We know that you would have celebrated well over the weekend, and we know that you keep God close to you, and we pray all the successes in the next upcoming year. And ladies and gentlemen, whatever you're celebrating, Tobago Updates, we love to celebrate with you all. Whether it's your birthday, anniversary, you're moving, you get a new job, you're moving to a new country, you've bought a new house, you've moved into a new apartment, you've given birth to a new child, whatever you're doing, we want to celebrate with you. So you can send us your information at Tobago Updates, and we will give you that shout out.
All right.
So, Lavian,
but
tell
you
us.
know, even as we on that, I just want to send congratulations to all the students and faculty at Signal Hill and Bishop's High as we topped. Yeah, some of our students topped Cape this year, so congratulations goes out to them. Yes, look at those beautiful faces. Deja Moore, Miss Waltrud, Mr. Taylor, Miss Young, Miss Roy, Miss Rodriguez. Congratulations to you and your parents and faculty, hard-working staff up there at Signal Hill Secondary School.
Yes. You know, for the past few years, Signal Hill has really been excelling at the CAPE exams. They've been consistently making the merit list, you know. They're doing some really good work up there at Signal Hill.
Amen.
So, Lavian, tell us, who are we having conversations with this morning?
Well, this morning we're going to be kick-starting the morning with Mr. Javon Joe, Marine Park Manager, Department of Fisheries. And he's going to be talking to us about Buku Reef Marine Park Management and actions going forward. Mm-hmm. Then after that, we have TTPS coming to give us our updates, our weekly update, TTPS crime updates, and we will be diving into absentee fathers and effects of crime. And then finally, Dr. Rehana Juman, Deputy Director, Institute of Marine Affairs, will also be having a conversation with us on the Buku Reef Marine Park Management and actions moving forward. So we have a jam-packed morning, as always, on the Tobago Updates Morning Show.
All right, thank you very much, Lavian. So, viewers, you heard that yourselves. We have a jam-packed morning. We have a diversity of conversations to be had. I want to thank you for logging on onto our Facebook Live and our YouTube channels, as well as listening to us on AMPLIA 102, 121, and 130 on Flow, and the newly added Digicel on channel 33. We thank you very much for logging in with us, whether you're in Tobago, Trinidad, the Caribbean, or further abroad. And we ask you to do us a favor.
And don't forget that up next, before, we also have Beneath the Service. Who do we have today?
Well, this morning we have, I believe it is Miss Natisha Charles Panting. They're coming up in the program afterwards.
Good,
but
yes.
Up next we have Mr. Javon Job. He will be coming in to speak with us. So do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So, even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships. It's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back here on the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. We are coming to you live from the Port Mall, downtown Scarborough, Tobago. And this morning we dive straight into conversations with Mr. Javon Job, Marine Park Manager, Department of Fisheries. And we're going to be talking about the Buku Reef Marine Park Management and actions going forward. Mr. Job, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning to you as well. How are you today?
I am well. All right. So we're talking about actions moving forward. And this conversation right now is critical because of incidents that we would have had in recent times. Unfortunate incidents, I must say, we would have had a 71-year-old that lost his life, unfortunately. We also had a man that lost his leg. And then we would have had, most recently, during the Tobago October Carnival, where we would have seen a boat that was almost sunken. Yeah, and then we had persons panicking. I want to ask you, though, from your perspective, what has been some of the implications on our tourism product based on those, on the reef, I should say, the product that is offered at the reef based on those incidents?
Okay, so the impact that you could see happening to the tourism industry, or for tourists in particular, is that it breeds a spirit of fear. When I say that is, you'd see persons who would want to come to the reef and then they realize that these things has happened before. The boat sinking, someone has lost their life. They start to question whether it is safe for them to carry their family or their friends outside. Internationally, people would look in, and when they see something like this happening, they would want to know, is this really a good product that I should bring my family to? And that way, actually seeing persons shine away from the reef, and we don't want that to happen.
Yeah, we definitely don't. All right. So tell me, what policies or regulations do we have in place right now that we are able to enact?
All right. So there is a Marine Areas Act where the minister would be able to designate any part of the marine environment as a reserve. Now, inside of that act, it will tell you about the enhancement of the reef, the preservation of it. It will talk about protecting of the flora, the fauna. That will include the birds, the fishes, the coral, the mangroves. It encompasses all of these things. And within that area, it would have specific regulations that would be prepared for that area to ensure the proper management of that reef or marine protected area.
All right. So there are specific parts of the reef that are protected, that are designated for use, for livelihood, for scientific research.
Correct.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do we have park rangers, and what exactly are their portfolios?
All right. So we have, I would call them reef patrol officers, right? And they in turn would be the ones who would patrol the reef with their vessel. And when they notice that there is somebody in breach of the regulations, they would give a warning or guidance to say, you shouldn't be doing this. You need to turn back and ensure that everything is okay.
And how often are they out there?
Every day. So even within the weekends, they will have special patrols that would happen on the weekend as well. But every day, between the opening hours of the marine park, they will be present from morning till evening time.
All right. All right. And as we're talking about actions moving forward, tell me what under your division is being implemented right now.
All right. So right now we are trying to ensure that we have the navigational channels back up and running. We would like to ensure that the boundaries are delineated so persons will be able to see and know that they are entering into the marine park. We are also looking into, how to say it, more educational drives so persons will understand the importance of a marine protected area and the do's and don'ts of it. Just general education and having a presence outside so persons would know for a fact that we can together be able to create a sustainable environment, because a wise person really did say before is the wise use of whatever that you have. So it's not that you're looking at the two extremes. In general, we just have more plans to come out. We're taking our time, understanding, we are observing what has been happening, and we know therefore ensure that we put the systems in place. And when the systems are in place, it's just for us to reach out to the people now to be able to have the behaviors change or the actions change so that we will have sustainable development happening all around.
All right. So I heard you touched on educating the people. We're educating the communities, the surrounding communities, Tobago at large, or is that we've also put in a drive in place to educate the tourists, whether local or international, that will be coming to use the park?
Right. So it will encompass both local and international. Starting, let's say, we would like to at least start meeting with the schools so they would understand, again, what a marine protected area is. We would like to have things going out on the advisory so that tourists, whether local tourists or international tourists, are understanding of the do's and the don'ts of the reef. That being the case, once you know, you'll be able to ask questions. And when you ask questions, persons will know how well, I don't want to say how safe it is, but they would understand that there is a management plan in place, and that once you do follow it, everything will be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you did mention that we do have an act and we do have some regulations, but are there any arrestable or offenses under this act, or is it that any penalties are attached to?
Yes, there are. Now, in the Marine Protected Areas, well, the Marine Areas Act, you'd find out about the fine. And the fine is supposed to be about, I think it was $10,000, I believe it was. And for every subsequent day afterwards, it should be about $1,000 being added onto it, if not 100. But I need to follow up on that. Once that is so, meaning that you engage the TTPS or the Coast Guard alongside the Reef Patrol, and they do come outside, they are there to be able to carry out or enforce that particular law.
And in recent times, to the best of your knowledge, have we enforced that law upon anyone?
There was the attempt to do it at certain points. We'll go out and explain this is what it was. Even in the past, before my time as a Marine Park Manager, the regulations were in place. They had actually the permit system and the transit system that is there. That needs still a little bit of revamping, but it is there to allow for persons to be able to be permitted within the Marine Park. That would also include a permit for transit across the Marine Park. And that being the case, that being enforced along with the TTPS, the Coast Guard, and the Reef Patrol officers, we will better be able to have a better hold on what is happening there.
Because I think when we do have regulations and policies in place, even an arrestable offense, and it's never enforced, persons naturally, as human beings, we naturally become complacent. We naturally feel comfortable. We naturally think that it is not that there's no consequences for our actions. And then there's this thing in labor law, custom and practice. Once you're accustomed doing something, you've been doing it for the longest while, it automatically feels normal or automatically becomes law. So I would definitely agree there that we should be enforcing.
Correct. So I just want to add a little bit to what you're saying. Now, my background previously or in the past was that of a teacher. And obviously, when you are dealing with children or students, what will happen is that if you allow them to continue doing what they're doing, they will take a mile. They will go further. They will go beyond what is the norm. So it's more about reminding, I would say training, because you have to train them of the proper use even of certain equipment on the boat. Ensuring that even with collaboration with the MSD, that is the Maritime Services Division, to know that, hey, this vessel is actually supposed to carry this amount of persons. And the Reef Patrol officers, knowing this, would be able to now address the reef operators at that time that you have a little bit too much of people on your boats. You need to reduce the amount and allow for another reef operator to get a chance. Because sometimes when we really look at it, is that we want to take all. And if we want to take all, it means that the next man who wants to carry out his livelihood would not be able to carry it out as effectively as the person who wants to take all.
Right, I totally understand. But even as you touch on that topic a bit, I must ask, is it that when a reef tour boat is going out, is there an enforcer, is there a supervisor that is from the marine park that looks over the vessel before it departs, that ensures that all safety procedures are followed, safety equipment on board, life-saving equipment, along with the number of passengers?
All right. So we had to understand that as a reef patrol officer, they're supposed to be out on the reef. So they wouldn't necessarily be on land to be checking these things. Now, forgive me for saying it like this. There should be a designated person that should be there to be able to at least pick out the same items listed, especially with the fact that to understand the general safety protocols are there. Now, that is under the jurisdiction of the Maritime Services Division, where they're able to tell you how much the boat is able to carry, if the vessel is seaworthy. And from there, when they are able to point that out and say, yes, this vessel is seaworthy, this is the carrying capacity, then you're able to. Now, a collaboration could also happen with tourism as well, because I believe it was there in the past, where they would have had a ticketing booth to be able to manage the number of persons going on each vessel. And with that being the case as well, you would also see that all reef operators now have a fighting chance to be able to carry out the trading at that particular time. All
right, so then I can see where Marine Affairs trying to thank you so much, Maritime Services. We're trying to cork those holes. We have some holes in the system.
Correct.
All right. So besides, as we are talking about actions moving forward, so you did talk about educating the community, educating the people. Besides education, what else is being implemented?
So we want to have more, as I said, more of a presence, right? So when we start to do more signage to be able to indicate the boundaries and the regulations as stated before, talks are happening maybe possibly about our website, because there are other marine parks within the Caribbean as well. And when you do look at the websites and so forth that they carry on, they'd actually show information on their reef system or their marine areas. So I believe that in the near future as well, we are going to be working on that website as well, to be able to at least put it up there, so persons, when they are searching, they could find it. They would know about it. They will know that it is there, but they could also see maybe the reef operators who are involved as well. And in so doing, that would also have a lasting impact. So it's not just that we're doing the education with the schools and just the locals, but once we at least have it maybe at the ports of entry, maybe at the hotels or any kind of, tourism, travel agencies, once they are able to display or show brochures of these things, we would be in a better place.
All right. So it's mostly education drive. It's mostly an awareness, mostly letting persons know what is acceptable, what isn't, what the regulations says rather, and what they should or should not be doing. Great. But could you tell me about training and development for the reef tour operators?
So talking a little bit about that, now we have discussions going on that we may have to, but there will be some consultations that will be coming out in the future as well, so that they'll be able to understand. Now, through the Tobago Agri-Technology Services Limited, they had done a consultation that was called the Safety at Sea consultation, where they were able to meet with some of these reef operators before, along with some other fisher folk, where they were able to identify some of the training needs. Now, the next step now is to put the systems or that education part in place, so that when the consultations do come through again, to invite them again, they'll be able to have the proper safety at sea training.
Right.
That will be even including the fact that what to do when a man is overboard, so that when a person do fall overboard, they'll be able to carry out the proper procedure. If a person is drunk, then you know what he's supposed to do. If somebody have a cut, basic first aid training, they get that done as well. So they will become essentially the first responders to be able to alleviate some of the pressures before the person actually come back to land.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so very much, Mr. Job, for all that you came here and shared with us this morning. We truly, truly appreciate it. And all the work you all are getting done at the Department of Fisheries as the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. Viewers, we were talking to Mr. Javon Job from the Buku Reef Marine Park Management and their actions moving forward. We know that we would have had quite a few incidents happened in recent times that might have caused a bit of a panic, but we want to make sure that our reefs are sustainable, and that's talking scientific, we're talking livelihoods, and we're also talking tourism. They all go together like a trifecta that we must be able to keep alive and keep our tourism product here alive in Tobago. Again, thank you so much for tuning into Tobago Updates Television and the morning show. We have so much more for you. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tapago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tapago's at your service.
The buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, buljoil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. And we have on the line with us this morning Dr. Rahana Juman, who is the Deputy Director of the Institute of Marine Affairs. And she's going to talk with us, continuing the conversation concerning the Buku Reef Marine Park management and actions going forward. Good morning, Doctor.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Mom.
Good morning, Doctor. So we want to continue the conversations, but with you, we want to zone in on focusing on the environmental sensitivities and considerations of the Buku Reef Marine Park. And we just want to get from you why the ecosystems within the marine park are important and why the protection of the marine park is important.
So I should start. Morning, everybody again. Since 1967, famous scientist Thomas Guru did an assessment and said that this marine park or this area was so ecologically diverse and important, and he recommended it be declared a marine protected area. Scientists came in from FAO and they made the same recommendations, and that's why the Buku Reef Marine Park was designated the only marine protected area to date under legislation. That's the Marine Preservation and Enhancement Act of 1970, and the park was declared protected in 1973. The Buku Reef Marine Park remains the only area today in Trinidad and Tobago where we have extensive mangrove forests, seagrass beds, and coral reef in close proximity. We had similar type of system in Kilgwin, but we've lost the seagrasses. Similarly, in Petitru, we have lost the seagrasses. The only extensive Thalassia, which is turtlegrass, dominated seagrass community in Trinidad and Tobago remaining is in the Buku Reef Marine Park. This area is quite diverse. It supports a diversity of organisms, over 200 species of fish, corals, invertebrates, many that are commercially important. So much so that we were able to have this area declared a wetland of international importance back in 2005. It's a Ramsar site. And the reason for that is because, again, of these sensitive ecosystems, but also to their habitat for species that are considered vulnerable or endangered, like sea turtles, green turtles, hawksbill turtles, vulnerable species like the queen triggerfish, the Nassau grouper, the lemon shark. All these species live within that marine park, and therefore, it has that importance.
So, Dr. Juman, many people might be wondering, why preserve these endangered species? What benefit would it be to us to really preserve these endangered species?
Well, they all species contribute to the whole food chain, the whole, ecosystem, the ecology of the ecosystem. And when you have a species that is no longer there, there's also the impact from that species not being there, because it part of that community and makes a contribution to that community. So it's important that we try to preserve some of these, and also to improve our biodiversity, because the more biodiverse an ecosystem, the more resilient it tends to be to impacts from climate change.
All right, Doctor. And do you think that we currently have enough or stringent enough regulations and policies in place to protect our park?
So, we've had the legislation since 1970, since declared in 1973. We've had a management plan that has been developed for the park since 1995. We've also had now a draft marine parks bill. So there is some legislation. There is enough legislation to actually protect the park. The problem is enforcement and implementation.
All right. As
we
you
need
say,
to improve enforcement
need to improve enforcement and was the last one you said?
Implementation.
And implementation.
In terms of our policies and so forth.
Right, and that would be for not just users, but also for fisher folk, locals as well?
Yes. So one of the things we have to take into consideration is that even impacts on the park wouldn't be just people that use the park, present in the park. There's also impacts from the surrounding areas. One of the biggest problems we have seen in the Buku Reef Marine Park over the years is pollution from land-based sources coming in from the surrounding communities. That is something that we have to address, because that's something that's under our control. While we cannot change, things like elevated sea surface temperature that cause massive coral bleaching, we don't have control over that. We have control over what flows into our marine park from the land side. So we also have an integrated coastal zone management policy that speaks about addressing land-based sources of pollution. There's been a lot of studies that have been done over the years. We know we need to fix that. We need to address that, reduce the pollution that's entering the park as well, so that we could build its resilience, the ecosystem resilience, so that when we have a hazard or some kind of event like a coral bleaching event or storm event, they're more able to bounce back after that event because they're more resilient.
Do we currently have any statistics on how extensive this land-based pollution is right now?
Yes, we do. We've been monitoring. IMA has been monitoring the park for more than 20 years in terms of water quality. There's been a number of studies that has been done over the years. So we know where the pollution is coming from. We know what the pollutants are, right? And, people would have said, we would have had discussion in the past about seagrasses growing into Nile and pool. And that's probably a result of the pollution that's entering the park. Closer to the mangrove where they enter the park, the pollutant enter the park, a lot of these seagrasses have been overgrown by macroalgae, right? But the seagrass bed have now extended further from where it used to be, right? So, that could be a consequence of pollution. So yes, we know we've been studying the problem for many, many years. We just need to now, start implementing solutions.
Dr. Juman, I was about to bring up this same issue with you because I remember as even a student in secondary school doing my studies, this was an issue, and that was over 20 years ago. So it's a long-standing issue, land-based pollutants. And I just want to know, in terms of educating the public, those in the surrounding areas, about land-based pollutants and its effects on the marine park. Do you all have any sort of public education campaign going on? And if yes, what is the feedback from the general public?
So right now, IMA is executing a project called the Marine Resilience Initiative, where we're rehabilitating degraded coral reefs and seagrass beds, but also a big part of it is building this marine resilience network, basically a community of practice, people becoming trained and engaged in actual conservation of the marine environment. So through that network, we have been executing a number of what we call CAP surveys, knowledge, aptitude practices, and speaking to stakeholders throughout Tobago. And many of them recognize and have identified pollution as a major issue for years. So they know it's there, but we need to now take it to the next level where we try to reduce, mitigate, and build resilience, as I say, of our coastal ecosystems. There's certain things that we can do and certain things we have no control over. So once we build the resilience and the strength of these ecosystems, they're more likely to bounce back after some sort of event.
And you stated in terms of ramping up efforts. So what are the timelines you're looking at in terms of implementation of these increased efforts?
Well, as soon as our ecosystems are under stress. Last year, we had one of the worst coral bleaching events ever, right? We had a lot of coral mortality. Right now, we're basically looking out for the stony coral tissue loss disease, which is a disease that has been decimating reef in the Northern Caribbean. Luckily, we haven't recorded it yet in Tobago, but it basically destroys hard coral. And it's like us, when you're sick or your body's stressed, you're more likely to pick up an infection or get sick, right? So if we boost these corals by removing the things that we could control, then they're likely to bounce back after an event. They're more resilient or more resistant to infections and that sort of stuff. And that's basically what we're saying. Let us remove the impacts that we can remove, build their health, make them healthier, so when events that we have no control they're able to bounce back quicker.
All right. And Dr. Juman, what are some of the proven long-term benefits of having these regulations implemented, and also the education drive as well implemented out there? What are some of the long-term benefits we will see in the environment?
So before we go, I just wanted to add, so one of the things that has been very popular in recent times, or what scientists have recently discovered, is that our ecosystems, like our mangrove forests and our seagrass beds, they're referred to as blue carbon ecosystem. They actually absorb and store more carbon, which is the greenhouse gas that cause climate change, than any other terrestrial ecosystem. And we're currently executing a project where we're actually trying to quantify how much carbon is stored in those ecosystems in Tobago in order for us to participate in blue carbon credit schemes, where we can actually trade those carbon credits and get some monetary value that can feed back into the community and feed back into conservation. Right? Part of the project is also rehabilitating the Bonaccord mangrove forest. So the thing about it is we need the legislation to protect these ecosystems. We need the legislation what we're doing basically is we're regulating human use of the environment so that the environment could continue to sustain use, right? And that's where the regulation is important. But as you rightfully say, most importantly is the public education and awareness, But I think they have to work hand in hand, because I can tell you, for more than 30 or 40 years, IMA has been putting out a lot of public education, out there, going to schools and educating folks and so on. But I think we need not only the public education, but the enforcement as well. They work hand in hand to help us manage our ecosystem.
And Doc, as an average citizen, just a Tobagonian, tell me, how would you advise me that I could contribute to protecting our marine parks on a regular day, on a regular basis? What can I do to make our tomorrow better?
So what I would say is that if you live in the vicinity of the park, know where your waste is going. Right, your runoff from your sewer, from your pipes and so forth. Make sure it's not going directly into the drains that flow into the Bonaccord Lagoon. Know where your garbage is going, solid waste, plastics, all those kind of things. Just be cognizant of where things are. Build your education and your awareness, and when you go to utilize the park, make sure you don't leave anything. People leave their garbage. It's a big problem in there when they go to use Island Pool and no man's land. You see all the garbage in the mangrove on the other side by Gibson Shatty. Remove everything you take into the park, all your litter, all your waste, right? But that's it. Do not take out anything else. Do not take out the corals. Try not to damage the corals. Be cognizant of the seagrasses. They have a very, very important role. So you really don't want to destroy these ecosystems. And similarly, in terms of the mangrove, even people who go in to do things like harvesting of crabs and stuff, make sure whatever you're doing is sustainable, that you're not leaving any damage behind. And the intention is that we protect the ecosystem so that they can continue to provide us with all these things that we depend on, the food and the fish and so on. So just make sure your practices are sustainable. If you want to learn, reach out to the IMA, reach out to the THA. We have a lot of education. We have a lot of information we can share with you so that you can make sure that whatever you do is more sustainable. So those are just some of the things. And I think one of the biggest thing I would tell people, appreciate what you have. You have one beautiful ecosystem there. Your mangroves, your seagrasses, your coral reef. It's quite diverse. Your birds, your fish, conch, name it. I remember as a student, I did my PhD work in the Buku Bonaccord Lagoon, and I remember seeing seahorses. I mean, that was the most amazing thing to me. Now I'm not seeing them anymore. That's concerning, But now because of all the seagrasses, we're seeing more sea turtles. That's exciting when you go in there and you see a turtle, Some people will never get to see that in their whole life. You have it there. Appreciate it. Love it. Love your environment. And continue to be engaged in conservation, because your environment is there to protect you and protect your livelihoods.
Dr. Juman, and finally, as you spoke about getting information from IMA and the THA, what sort of collaborations is the IMA having with the Department of Fisheries in terms of coming to realization of the preservation of the marine park?
So the IMA have always had a long-standing relationship with the Tobago House of Assembly and the Department of Marine Resource and Fisheries. Everything we do in Tobago, we do in conjunction with the department, especially in the marine protected area, because we have to get permission to actually do research in the marine protected area according to the Act. So we work closely with the THA. All our monitoring, all our research is done in conjunction with the Tobago House of Assembly. So we continue to work our public outreach and education as well. We work with them. Just last week, we had a community symposium in Charlottesville, coastal conversations that we did in conjunction with the Tobago House of Assembly and that particular, the Marine Resource and Fisheries Department. So yeah, our relationship, we continue to grow that relationship.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Rehana Juman, for joining us for this morning's conversation. And we wish the IMA, Institute of Marine Affairs, all the good luck and success in your goal to protect the Buku Reef Marine Park.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. But we need everybody to do it. It's
yes, indeed.
All on board kind of thing.
Right. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Dr. Juman. Viewers, we have to go for a short break, but when we come back, we continue our conversations. So do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and low, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and low. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Live more.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back here on the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. It is Monday, the 10th of November, 2025. Thank you so much for staying with us. Right before we took that break, we had conversations regarding the Buku Reef Marine Park and the preservation moving forward. But you know, we always love to hear from you, right, viewers? You are what make us. Without you, we're nothing, and we're thankful for you. So we want to hear from you. Give us a call this morning. So much happening in our space. Give us a call at 284-6597. That number again is 284-6597. Or send us a WhatsApp, or what are you saying in our chat? We want to hear from you with all that is happening in our Tobago space. Last week, unfortunately, we would have had 5 minors arrested by the TTPS on assault warrants. And then just on Friday, we had 5 Venezuelan nationals, including a 16-year-old girl, that were arrested right here on the island for illegal entry. I mean, that along with so much that is happening, the elections heating up. We have the People's National Movement, Akinlabi, that would have started releasing their candidates. TPP, not yet, a little tight-lipped. I'm not sure what's happening on that side of the coin, but PNM.
They're still doing the
screening.
Still doing the screening.
Right.
But the PNM has started to release their candidates.
And who do they have?
The lineup looks very interesting. I know that for Canaan Kongpoint, they have Mr. Dominic Kerr. For Bethel, New Grange, they have Mr. Sterling Timothy.
Right.
And for Mason Hall, Moriah, we have Mr. Kwesi Devines.
Okay.
And I think they also have a candidate. They released a candidate for Roxborough.
California, something. It's Shawnee John,
yes,
I think
Ms.
it is.
Shawnee John. This is Mr. Sterling Timothy, Ms. Shawnee John here on the screen now. So they're one by one, the PNM are releasing the candidates.
Yeah.
Mr. Devines here.
So I'm seeing new faces and one familiar face.
Yes. So they really have a mix of familiar faces, and they're bringing in some new blood into the fray. And one by one, the PNM are releasing the candidates, and it seems to be quite an interesting mix.
I mean, new blood is nothing without experience, right?
Yes, that's true.
If we only have, we're going to need some guidance, and that's how we have succession planning and legacy continuation, right? So, all right. So we see the People's National Movement. Have you heard anything from the IDA?
No, nothing from the IDA just yet. But, in speaking with the Chief Secretary, earlier this month, late last month, I believe it was, he stated that the elections most likely won't happen this year.
Right.
So we're looking at our 2026 elections. So I think that the IDA and whoever else wants to throw their hat in the ring, they have some time to really get themselves together and present their candidates. So we have a couple more months to wait.
Yeah, but I'm hearing something on the ground about Mr. Anthony James.
Well, I'm not sure. Mr. Anthony James, you'll have to come out and say
Mr. James.
We know that he has been quite vocal on the social media space. So we'll see whether he decides to throw his hat in.
But he has made that announcement that he will be, I think he has a political party that he's going to be announcing. I'm not sure if it's independent of few. But we are going to be looking forward to that because we are in the season. It is a silly season, as we call it.
Yes.
And so we're looking out for everything and everyone. But remember, Tobago Updates Television, we are going to be bringing you all things THA election that you would need to know moving forward. But we know that Carnival is what? Around Valentine's. So then, because it's a guessing game. We're playing a guessing game with the Chief Sec here as to when the date is going to be dropped. So it's not going to be Christmas. Carnival is in the middle of February. How involved is Tobago in National Carnival that we would need to do it before or after Carnival? Because I'm trying to feel out the Chief Sec here.
I think it's going to be a late February, early March elections.
I think so.
I think it's going to be around that time.
I think so too. Well, that means we have about 8 weeks of campaigning.
Probably could be. I think about 6 weeks max.
6 weeks max of campaigning.
But according to the law, you have to have a 2-month gap between dissolving of the legislature and the calling of the elections. A 2-month gap minimum. So we're going to have. It's definitely going to be probably late February,
Yeah.
early March, that the elections will take place next
A
year.
battle for the 15.
Yes, a battle for the 15, we'll see. But in other news, the Division of Finance, they would be open for half day today.
Yes, from 1 p.m. So, citizens, islanders, if you are going out to the Division of Finance, Victor E. Bruce building from 1 p.m. today. If you have anything to do, they are having a Thanksgiving service, for staff in recognition and in launch of Finance Month 2025 activities. All right. But also staying on the Tobago House of Assembly and all things THA that will be happening today. Also, islanders, if you are venturing to the TRHA, to the triage up there at accident and emergency, you will be seeing some construction work being done up there.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be about 6 to 8 weeks, approximately 6 to 8 weeks. Enhancement work being done. Some remodeling, as a matter of fact, to enhance comfort and improving the overall patient experience. So you're going to experience some discomfort for a little while. That's for sure, but it is for the long run.
Short-term sacrifice for long-term gain.
Yes, indeed. So, citizens, when you're going to be up there, you're going to hear some ponging. It's going to be, it's to be up there. It's a headache and you're hearing a drill, but it is for the greater good and for the improvement of the facilities and also, for the nurses and staff, the faculty up there to be comfortable. Yeah.
Yes. So viewers, you can call in and give us your views on the various topics that we discussed this morning. We're still waiting for you all on the lines, on the phone lines. You can call and give us your views, give us your opinions, ask whatever questions you want to ask concerning all the topics that we discussed this morning. What is your opinion about the political climate in Tobago? Who do you think has the edge in the upcoming THA elections? We want to hear from you all, so give us a call.
Yes, indeed. I want to say good morning to Johansi, Brenda Campbell, Delwyn, Liam, Alberto, Jayen. Good morning, everyone out there on the live. Thank you so much for always choosing Tobago Updates Television. And as Akinlabi said, remember, as we're moving forward into the election season, stay tuned, stay locked on to Tobago Updates Television. There's nowhere else that you would need to be to get all the questions that you need answered. And Tobago Updates Akinlabi, for this THA election, we are rolling out some new initiatives that's going to keep you on your toes to help you make that decision. I mean, listen, it's an election and there are some people that are already sold.
Yes. Always.
My grandmother used to say, dog lick and say yours is yours, right? So you know who you are. But there are also those persons that are going to be on the fence. And if you're on the fence and you want to make an informed decision, stay tuned to the Big Updates Television, because we are going to have every single candidate, every single political party, and even external as well, that we're going to be interviewing right here. We're going to be having their say. We're going to be taking a look back as well at the 4 years and probably even further beyond those 4 years, but we are going to be giving you all the information that you need so that you can make an informed decision when you go to that poll. So this battle to the 15, down to the end, right down till we lie down, and we will see who will be sitting in the Tobago House of Assembly come 2026.
And Lavin, I think that this election is going to be hotly contested, and I think that more than ever before, a lot of these seats are going to be swinging.
I think so too.
I think we're going to have a lot of swing seats in this upcoming election.
But as you said that, Akinlabi, I was having a conversation recently and someone asked me, they said, do you think that the general election, the April 28th general election, is a predictor or indicator for the Tobago House of Assembly election? And I said, elections are won on election day.
Earlier in the year, I would have said that it was an indicator, but a month is a lifetime in the world of politics. And we've had a
strange bedfellow.
We've had a couple tumultuous number of months since the calling of the general election, since the results of the general election.
A lot has happened.
So we will see where that lands.
A lot of questions swirling on the ground, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of tell me what is happening, a lot of I want to be sure. So again, Tobago Updates Television, we will be bringing you all things Tobago House of Assembly election.
Yes, and we hope that you will log on with us here at Tobago Updates as we bring you that coverage and we have those very important conversations. Before we close off, I just want to let you all know that on December 19th to January the 2nd, the Logos Hope returns to Scarborough, Tobago. Yes, the Logos Hope, we know that beloved floating library, the Logos Hope, will be returning to Scarborough from December 19th, 2025 to 2nd January 2026. So, Lavin, you could go and get your books.
I'm an avid reader. I'm always there.
Yes. It's always a joy to have the Logos Hope here with us at Tobago. So take advantage of that opportunity, viewers, to go and get all your reading material and the Logos Hope. Viewers, unfortunately, we've come to the end of our programming, but it continues. Our programming continues here on Tobago Updates, and we have Beneath the Surface coming up next with Rhea Richardson George. So do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Beneath the Surface is up next.
LambFest 2025, now in its third year, being the second event on the calendar for the World Food Day celebrations, did not disappoint, as it showcased the culinary skills of our local chefs here on the island. This unique event also saw scores of people eager to taste and enjoy the festivities.
Today, we gather not just to celebrate our third annual LambFest, but to honor the hard work, passion, and resilience of Tobago's farmers, chefs, and entrepreneurs who continue to drive our island agricultural success. LambFest is more than just an event. It's a showcase of innovation, community, and the rich culinary heritage that makes Tobago unique. Each dish, each display, and each conversation today tells a story of dedication and progress.
All of this started 3 years ago in my conference room at the Division of Food Security. The Tobago Integrated Livestock Association, they were now forming, and they understood that the small ruminant industry needed to be developed on the island. And I gave them that responsibility of assisting us at the division to develop the small ruminant industry. Because it was non-existent. We hardly had any stock on the farms. And 3 years later, we're now having 3 LambFests in Tobago.
This is the first LambFest where all the meats have been sold out, have been purchased by the caterers. We have 18 caterers on site, and every bit of the meat will purchase. We have no fresh meat. This is the first year, no fresh meat on sale for patrons. So I would say that everything is working in accordance and the market is really developing. I see the LambFest being franchised and possibly being spread out throughout the Caribbean. Who knows, probably international as well.
My name is Gillian. I'm from the UK. And I'm staying here for a little while. I was told by my friend about this LambFest, and it's fantastic. My first bite, one of many. It's absolutely so delicious.
I think it's a great initiative because it's a interesting spin on approach to food security in a way that I think Tobagonians too. It's a food festival, so everybody comes, with a belly in their hand and a fair amount of curiosity as to what the caterers will present this year. And so far, I'm not disappointed. This is my family.
Well, my experience has been good. The food is excellent. And I suppose when you come here, you will get lamb in different styles that you don't normally do at home. So that's why I come.
was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Tobago Challenge 2024! Yes.
Today is the first day. We walked from Crown Point this morning at 4 to Goodwood Recreation Ground. Tomorrow we resume here at 4 and walk to Charlottesville. The other day we start from Charlottesville to Castara, and the fourth day from Castara to Batch 2. This is an 8102 initiative, and we normally line, and we are specialists at alignment. So this time we're doing something else. We retire very early, and we observe after retirement people go into their own little corner and apparently stop moving. And we want to encourage people to move. We believe that we cannot, but we can. So if at this stage, at this age, we can, others will realize that even if they do have to do on the extreme, you can do something.
Oh, it was great, you know. Listen, any opportunity to be in Tobago is great for me. Doesn't matter what I'm doing anyway. But the walk was really great this morning. And really the goal of this whole exercise is to encourage other vets to really stay active, to set goals and to continue to try and achieve things even as we get older.
It wasn't bad at all, but just coming up the Shangi Hill, I started to get a little pressure because I never train or anything. They said, is it walking? I walk. It was cool. It wasn't bad at all. I'm looking forward to the second leg. From here, from Goodwood to Charlottesville. To walk around Tobago is a plus for me. I want to walk around Tobago. So I want to make the whole thing.
For me, it's a very good initiative. Based on the reason, just to show support for all our fallen comrades. And and it's all about, living a healthy lifestyle and just keeping active.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Good morning, Tobago, and welcome this morning to GMT. It is beneath the surface. Straight talk, no chaser. We're really happy to be in your company for the start of this new week, where we have an opportunity of interviewing our assemblymen and area representatives and assistant secretaries, and go a little bit beyond the surface I'll be able to chat with them on some of their accomplishments and their goals and should they be re-elected? And that's one of the major questions. Should you be re-elected? What are some of your goals? What would you like to see come to fruition? Our guest this morning, we're really happy to have on set with us Assemblyman Nathisha Charles Panton, Secretary for the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. She's also the area representative for Bagatelle Bacalet. And really happy to have her with us this morning. Good morning and welcome to you, Assemblyman.
Good morning, Ria. Good morning, Tobago.
Quite an interesting morning thus far, yes?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Indeed, indeed. All right, now we want to get started here this morning. Nathisha Charles Panton, now Assemblyman.
Yes.
But tell us a little bit about the girl, the woman before politics, before the title of Assemblyman.
Well, I would like to say that most people know me as being a very jovial, humble person. And I wouldn't say before politics, I've always remained that way. Easy to get along with, with the public, as best as I can, right? But before I became a politician, I started out my career. Well, I used to do other things before I went into the field of environment and forestry under agriculture. I was into craft. I love
craft
to do...
as in arts and craft?
Yeah, craft. I make coconut oil, make jams, jellies. I love to cook and bake. So people would know me, giving food in the village.
Okay.
Right? So I used to love those things a lot. You would imagine I don't have a lot of time to do it now. Right?
Okay.
But usually, it makes me feel good just having that, home feeling of doing everything as it relates to home, doing a little sewing, doing all of those things, right? But I took into agriculture and forestry because I love the natural environment. As a matter of fact, I grew up in Mason Hall. And my parents, my grandparents, as a matter of fact, they had over 40 acres of land, and that is what they used to do.
Wow.
Right? Milk, so we had a lot of cows, a lot of pigs.
So you were that girl?
Yes, going, walking that distance into Belmont to plant corn and peas with my father. So I was always connected to the ground. And to be honest, I wanted to be a doctor. Right, a medical doctor. But my parents didn't have money for that, right? So I did the next thing that,
The next best thing was agriculture.
Right, that came to mind. So I went into that field, and when I started out as a forest officer 1 in the public service, the salary was very small, 3,007 something, was very minuscule. But, I wasn't daunted. I just loved doing projects, writing books for schools, music. People would remember me on Radio Tambourine doing story time with Radio Tambourine. So, I used to find a lot of fun ways to educate persons on the natural resources of Tobago, right? And how we should better manage it. And then I went on to study further because I won a scholarship from the Eastern Caribbean Institute of Agriculture and Forestry in 2002 thereabout. And I also won a President's Medal for being the student with the highest academic standing. And I went to the University of Edinburgh. So that was my, that was a different experience altogether. Going in Scotland, climbing the snow-capped mountains and, doing a lot of scientific research. So it was a drastic difference from managing resources back home as opposed to Scotland. And then I went on to study got my master's in public health, management of health systems later on. So that moved me from forest officer 1 into different fields. I was a watershed management officer, forest management officer. I went to all different positions, but under the same division. And at that time, he was a director, then administrator, Mr. Ray Sandy. He used to move us around a lot in the division to have the experience of managing different units. So that may explain why I have such a passion for the division that I was put in. It just comes natural to to do a lot of programs, and I understand the vision of the division. So that in a nutshell is who I am, right? I'm easygoing. Once we have a cordial, I like amicable relationships. People must always be respectful to each other.
Granted.
Yeah, so that's me in a nutshell.
That was more than a nutshell, actually. That was much more than a nutshell.
Yeah.
And you shared a lot there. Yes. At the time of growing up within the division, did you have your eyes set on politics per se? Thank God for Mr. Risandi. He allowed you to experience different levels of the division. But at that time, did you have your eyes set on politics, maybe saying to yourself, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I'm going to?
I didn't really have my eyes set on politics. What happened, because I was so involved in so many groups across the entire island, because when you're in that division, you have to work with every stakeholder in order to execute something. And so it's sort of, politics became attracted to me. Let's put it like that. Yeah. So
you were not attracted to
yes.
politics. Politics was attracted to you.
Well, I always saw politics as, it's always some kind of fight, some kind of combat between, right? But it's not in my nature, right, to gravitate to that. But politics came into my life, I would say that. I was co-opted by several persons. At that time, it was PNM. So we worked in the background a lot. I was not in the forefront most of the times, except when I went up for the seat, right? But I remained in the background supporting others, as well as doing what I was doing in the division. Yeah, so I play a supportive role generally to everybody. If you look even now, to be honest, I would always prefer to be in the background. I would never be the person to jump up and say, let me do it. But someone would always say, let her do it, and push me to the forefront. So that's my character, right? But I'm extremely focused. Once you give me something to do, I will do it to the end. And that is the kind of personality I have.
Okay. Why the switch from the previous party to...
Well, I didn't switch, What happened in 2020, I had a discussion with my husband, and I said to him, I believe I would have given enough to politics, and I just wanted to, just move on with my husband and have a life outside of life. Yes, outside of politics, because I was in everything, in the background, just in every single thing, in the West, in the East. It was a lot, and I didn't feel like I had. I would have given a lot of time to family life. I would have experienced a lot of things that showed me that, for example, my father died, and that really hit me hard. I lost a significant amount of weight. People will tell you that. I didn't take it easy, It wasn't an easy thing to deal with.
Losing a parent never
yes.
is. Yes.
And then, my mom came and she got ill. She had a subdural hematoma in her head. She fell down in the bathroom and hit her head, and she had a few days to live. So I went to Trinidad with her, and, I stayed with her, and I ensured that, well, it was a decision because you had to make at the time, because she was on aspirin, and, if you're on aspirin, your blood will thin quickly. And we had to make a decision if to do surgery. And it was the best decision of my life, because I still have one parent for today. Yeah?
Yeah, thank God for that.
Correct. So at that time, it wasn't TPP, it was PDP at the time. Yeah. They wanted me to get involved in politics. So I said, you know what? Even though I'm in the community and I'm helping, I'll help anybody. Because it really didn't matter to me, If you needed help, and once you're into building the community, I would help. But I didn't want to go for a seat. So when the action group nominated me, I said no, right? I will support anyone else. And that is why I gave my full support to Mr. Pollard at that time, right? I didn't know of him. I just knew that he lived in Mason Hall, and he was a member of the opposite, right? But I support anybody, right? As long as you mean well, right? So then it came down to, well, he won, and it was 6-6. And then it came down to us, well, the Prime Minister increased the number of seats. And then they came again to ask. And there were so many people trying to convince me to come back into the politics. So, you know, I was literally bombarded by a lot of people. And then I just had to make a decision. I asked my husband what he felt, how he felt about it. And, you know, he said he would support me. He has always supported me throughout life, whatever it is, even if it's selling, you know, by the side of the road. Because we used to, there. Yeah, because we used to, you know, plant watermelon with my uncle, and, you know, we used to go out there and sell. You know, he said, I've been there with you from ever since. So whatever you decide, young lady, I will support you.
He's one of those husbands.
He's one of those husbands.
Shout out to Mr. Carlton.
Yes. So,
I mean, that was a lot. That was a lot. And you lost, but yet you survived. All right, and that must not have been easy going through that period. And you know, one of the questions was, you know, how was your life changed since taking office? You shared some of it. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
All right.
I mean, I got a little emotional there. Yes, you would understand.
Yes, and rightly so. One would understand. Yes. But how has your life changed? Because, I mean, you shared some of what has happened along the way, having lost your father, almost losing your mom. But what else has changed in your life within the past 4 years?
I got to see, well, I mean, being in politics, you get to see a lot of things that you don't like. And that was one of the reasons why I left in 2020, right? It was so many things happening. The encouragement from a lot of persons in the background to say, okay, I know all of this happened, but I still think that you could contribute because
you
of
have
what
something
happened.
to offer.
Yes. And it changed significantly because, again, I told you earlier that if you give me something to do, I will do it to the best of my ability because I'm an extremely focused person. So I expected a lot of political mischief, right? But sometimes it sort of, what you put it, didn't distract me or anything because I would still continue. But you get to realize that even if you're on the path to assisting with the development of Tobago, that is not always the focus in politics. I think people just fight each other to get into office and not necessarily focus on
what do I do
to assist others. Because I'll tell you, the way I see it, the more we continue to fight each other, there's a place in politics for the fighting. Because if you're not serving your constituents and other things, yeah, you're up for political, you know. But the more we fight each other as it relates to developing Tobago itself, is the less opportunities for people, right? You're keeping back generations. And you're seeing it happening. A lot of the young people, we want to complain and say young people not getting involved and they're not doing this and that. But a lot of this is because of the politics, right? We have not, and when I say we, as Tobagonians, we have not settled on this is what is not political, but this is fair game. Everything now is politics. Even if it's food,
it becomes political.
It's political. Yeah? So there's no separation. And it's unfortunate because Tobago will not develop as fast if we continue along that line. But again, I mean, that is how democracy is and, you know, politics on a whole.
All right. But we are going to continue chatting in just a little while when we come back from the break. Again, viewers, this is Beneath the Surface, straight talk, no chaser. Join us just after this break.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. Do more, live more. Do more, live more.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never.
Viewers, welcome back this morning to Beneath the Surface. Straight talk, no chaser. Our guest this morning, Assemblyman Natisha Charles Panton. And even as we're talking about the girl, the woman behind the politics, one of the questions that we raised, in fact, one of the responses she gave a little while ago was about young persons. So we want to have an idea here of the division's initiatives to involve young people within this sector, marine, agriculture. Agriculture has been Tobago's mainstay for many, many years. And now, we shifted away. Now we're looking to return to the roots. What are some of the division's initiatives share with us some of the initiatives to encourage young people. Now we look around and we see some younger farmers, which is a good thing, but getting them involved at a younger age.
No, you had to think like how you would have, how you would think back then when you were a young person. And
I'm
what
still
would
young.
A younger. We are young.
Yes,
I mean, when we were extremely young.
Yes, we go with that one.
Extremely, right? And young people tend to be gravitating to social media. They're always on their phones. As opposed to when we were younger, we still wanted things that would pull our interest. Right. So you had to think back how you were as a child. And to be honest, back then, agriculture was it was seen as a punishment for most. So while for me, it was part of my life. But for some families, you'd hear they say, okay, well, you're not studying your book, go outside and plant something.
Oh, boy.
So we had to change the way people...
It was seen, it was viewed.
Correct. So first, I introduced the policy that agriculture is a science and a business. And automatically, when you think of it, no longer as a hobby or something you're doing, you think of it as a business, not a side hustle. Then you have to treat it as if you would open, your own shop, your own store, and understand the mechanics, the workings of business and science. So we're trying to transform the Kendall Farm School. It's now the Tobago Agricultural Research Initiative, TARI, where we hope to introduce a lot of the technologies in conjunction with the Tobago Agri-Tech Company that was recently formed. But I wouldn't say recent, maybe over a year, close to 2 years. And we have held one summit, an Agri-Tech Summit. We're going to host another summit on the 25th of this month to the 27th, where we're going to introduce technologies in agriculture, in all aspects of agriculture.
Yes.
And young people will get to see hands-on tech, so that you don't have to think that agriculture is just going out and till the soil. But you can introduce technology and make it sexy, make it attractive.
You go,
yes.
Go Assemblyman, yeah.
And I'll tell you something. If you look at a lot of the younger people that we have, even the elderly, because is a combination of it. A lot of the times we tend to think older people they're not as trendy. But that isn't true, They have a lot of knowledge that they pass on. Even though, the little things that you wouldn't think about that you would learn in a lab in school.
Right.
That they could tell you, if you do it this way, it's easier. So we're marrying both.
Right.
And we have, churned up the excitement for a lot of the farmers to participate in programs that we currently have. So we have the Lamb Fest. That is part of the livestock program that we're running. There was no livestock industry, no small ruminant industry on the island. And we developed a program so that now you don't have to, when the sheep van come up and they blow outside your house, you have to run and give them your sheep and your goat. So we developed a market for lamb. And I'm so happy when on the island. So I'm so happy when I go to restaurants now and they say they have lamb as part of their menu because of the Lamb Fest that we keep hosting. Right? We have been
this is the second year, yes?
This is the second year.
The
third. No, the third, I believe. Yes, I think this is the third. Yes, this is the third.
Okay.
And we have been training the chefs. Even further back, we have been training the butchers. Right? We taught them how to do those specialty cuts. I tell you, agriculture could be exciting once you understand the science of it. And then the science improves your business. So you know the market where you're cutting with your cutlass. You don't need to do that anymore, the specialty cuts. So you could sell your meat, as well as you could prepare lamb in different ways. THTI was part of that. A lot of the local caterers, they were able to be trained on how to prepare lamb, right? Tobagonians don't go in the grocery and say, I'm going and buy lamb to cook Sunday. They don't. But now you have people purchasing lamb meat.
It's actually a consideration.
It's a consideration. Yeah. Actually, I bought lamb on Saturday for my husband. You know, so the market is there now. So you no longer have to send your meat to Trinidad. We came up with the community care program, and that is where persons that are suffering from non-communicable diseases like diabetes and hypertension, and you know, it's not only about having a very low income, right, a low disposable income, but also about your general health and well-being.
Right.
And we are training the farmers on how to bring the produce, how to harvest the produce, because I'll give you an example. So you might think growing lettuce, or lettuce as they say, right? You could harvest it at any time, no. Sometimes if you harvest it, you know, high, when the sun is high, when you harvest it, it will be wilting by the time it gets to the processing facility.
A specific time.
Right, and that is called post-harvest, right? So when they talk about post-harvest techniques, right, that's training you on how to treat produce in such a way that it remains, you know, you know, how you put it, your tomatoes remain solid, your lettuce remains alive, you know, alive, and so all of that is involved in the training. So from the farm to the table, we have all the technical officers at, you know, working with all the farmers, and they're able to guide on how to be part of the community care program, where we can provide fresh produce as part of the diet of these cohorts that we have, right? And I say cohorts because we have to continue monitoring, you know, and producing reports and, you know, on the process. And it was so, it became so popular. We had a lot of requests coming from different agencies. Tiantec was one, because we had, we received reports of persons, you know, having aneurysms and hypertension and in Tiantec. And they wrote, I think it was the union and the managers, right? So that the division can come to Tiantec and train persons, and so that they could be part of the community care program, right? Looking at your diet, teaching you how, you know, we monitor you, but also how you can monitor yourself, how you could, you know, just use ordinary things around your house so that you could plant something and supplement your diet. Right? And of course, we're doing this in partnership with the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection. And they gladly came on board with the community care program. The secretary was, you know, very enthusiastic about the program, because you would imagine the amount of people that go to the hospitals and the health centers. And if we can reduce those numbers, it would ease up.
Make their work lighter.
Correct. Right? Yeah. So we do... we are trying to make agriculture sexy.
I like your term, sexy.
Yes. By merging agriculture with a lot of these festivities and activities. So it becomes attractive. You have lamb fests. For botanics, you're going to have ham, lamb, and jam, and everything local. So you have your local pork, your local ham, and you know, the jam and all of that. So we're trying to create markets, right? Not only for the butchers, the farmers, but also the vendors, right? So that is why we built the Shore Park Food Hub, right? So along the value chain.
Is it being utilized?
Right.
Is it making a difference? Is it making an impact?
It is making an impact. We've never had so many activities. Two things. We're having a lot of new festivals surfacing, and you have a lot of new vendors. We have a lot of farmers and vendors coming out of these programs, and of course they have a space that you can utilize, because World Food Day, I know it's going to be extended. People saying, Secretary, why 2 days? Why not a whole week? No.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because World Food Day in the past has always just been 2 days, Thursday, Friday. Thursday, Friday.
Right.
Now, with the increase of all of these programs and initiatives, we're looking...
It's a whole series now. right? But they still want the 2-day celebration to be even longer. And World Food Day, you used to have a lot of flowers. I don't know a long time if you used to visit the World Food Day down at Bacalet.
Yes.
But people used to complain a lot about how much flowers alone at World Food Day. So what I did, I separated the horticulture aspect from the World Food Day. So, and Horticulture Day was supposed to be 1 day. It moved from 2 to 2 days. Now it's 3 days this year. Right, so people keep wanting more and more and trying to stretch me, trying to stretch the officers. And you know what I like about the Division of Food Security? Even though I might get a little pushback from the officers, the excitement, not only from just experiencing all these festivities, but just seeing the happy faces from the vendors. They don't push back that much. They might say, oh,
just a
Lord,
little,
yeah,
but they run with it.
Lord, yes. That
run.
means we had, is more and more. And I say at the end of the day, if you are to think as if you are a vendor and you have something on your hand, you would want everything sold out. So World Food Day, they want some people sold out immediately, and then they had to go back for more.
Which is always good.
Right. So as you rightfully said, it's good. But people keep stretching us, and I'm happy for it because at the end of the day, Tobagonians making $1. Yeah.
Okay. Really happy for that. Very happy for that. In our early discourse, you mentioned that you are focused and you are driven. How were you able to take that aspect of your life, that focus, driven Assemblyman Letitia Charles Panton, to the division, to be able to light a fire, so to speak, to encourage, to push employees? And I'm not saying that they were not doing anything before. This is how were you able to bring you to the division to promote, encourage, stir them up to do or to buy in to the new goals and the new vision for the division?
That's a good question. Now, anybody being trained at the Eastern Caribbean Institute of Agriculture and Forestry would tell you it's the most rugged training you could receive in your entire life. Sometimes you literally don't sleep. You may have practicals today, tomorrow is an exam. And you don't want to, especially when you didn't grow up with a lot, you don't want to fail, because failure isn't really an option. So no matter how tough things get, you still have to keep focused. And it's that type of training that built my character. And the division itself, from being trained in all the different colleges, universities, and the kind of things we would have had to go through, I knew that all the officers in that division, right, they would have the skills, and you can't fake it. That is one thing about agriculture. You can't fake it. If you don't know the science of agriculture, you go fail.
You cannot pretend.
Right, you can't pretend.
You can't fake your way through.
No, you can't fake your way through. But I know that when you're doing something over and over again, it could become monotonous. And if you're not getting to expand your wings, right, it could be, demotivating. So I took what I call a revival sort of approach to the division. I took my ability to become creative to the division. I allowed people to be part of the decision making at every step. Correct. At every step. You may have some resistance in some departments. And over the years, I've already summed it up that some of it would be political mischief. But it's unfortunate in that regard, because I could see so much more coming out from a few of these departments if persons don't gravitate to the politics rather than service. I don't see the need for people to become overly political if you're not a politician or you're not actively involved in politics. If you're a technical person, just remain technical.
Do your job.
Yeah, because you were hired and being paid taxpayers' dollars to do your job, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, and the majority of persons that bought into the vision, they are doing extremely well. People are doing things that they never thought they could have done before. And having access to a secretary who they could WhatsApp 2 o'clock in the morning and get a response, right?
That's what you do.
Yeah, right? To some of them, they say this is a breath of fresh air because you might just be thinking about something and you want to share it and to see if it could be part of your policy decision.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the part that I brought into the division, the ability to interact more with the staff,
mm-hmm.
to involve them more in the decision making,
mm-hmm.
to come up with creative programs and so everybody understand now that in order to take agriculture further, we have to transform it into something that is sexy. Yeah?
That seems to be the word of the day.
Yeah.
Yes,
We have to
yes.
transform it into something sexy in order for people to enjoy what they're doing. Because you'll understand that if you love what you're doing, oh gosh, it comes as a second.
It doesn't feel like work.
It doesn't feel like work.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't enjoy it, let us know so we could move you into something that you enjoy doing.
Yes.
Because if you're keeping back a whole industry because you like something or you want to be political, come on. Give somebody else a chance. If you don't like something, let us know,
yes.
and we will accommodate you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, certainly.
Yes.
Certainly, and I tell you, sexy agriculture.
Yeah.
Sexy agriculture is the term of the day. All right. So we're getting ready to take a break, but when we come back, Assemblyman, we want to hear from you with regards to the marine park. There've been
Yes.
some issues. We're going to share a little bit about that,
Yes.
and as well, we want to have an idea from you if you can summarize your term in one phrase. Yeah, summarize your term in one phrase. What would it be, and why would you choose that phrase?
Okay.
All right, so we'll talk about these and other issues when we come back from the break this morning.
No problem.
We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we're stronger.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Tobago Updates Television recognizes women in business. Every Thursday morning on The Morning Show, we engage with women-owned and operated businesses from right here in Tobago. We'll discover these women, their businesses, what inspired their business, their highs and their lows, and their encouragement to you. Join me, your host, Adana Kambi, this and every Thursday on The Morning Show from 7:40 a.m. as we celebrate and encourage women in business.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger.
Viewers, welcome back to Beneath the Surface. Straight talk, no chaser. Our guest this morning, we're still chatting with Assemblyman Natisha Charles Panton. Now, just before we took the break, a couple of questions posed to you with regard enforcing the legislation that is in place regarding the rules and regulations that govern the marine park. What is in place? Because quite recently we saw up until Carnival weekend as well, where vessels were out there, some of the some of the boats were out there.
That's fine.
And they were somewhat overloaded, and one vessel in that instance started to sink. There was an instance just before that started sinking, and we have some of these issues. So what is in place to govern what happens out there?
Now, let me first say that the portfolio is under Mr. Tate, right? But of course, we work together on all things. And Mr. Tate has been trying.
A bit on it.
Yes, he has been trying his best as usual in everything. Now, it's unfortunate that we have a situation where, if not all, most persons understand that coming to the Division of Food Security, you would get the advice that you need as it relates to the marine park. Now, during the carnival season, I must say big up to Fog Angels. They came and, they got everything that they needed to get, right? A lot of the carnival stakeholders did come to the division. But of course, you must have renegades in some instances. The Division of Food Security recently took on the exercise of creating a Bucca Reef Management Park Committee under its wing, so that we could pull the different stakeholders together. It's led by Alan Stewart, and Ricardo Alfred is the vice chairman. He's also on the committee. And the stakeholders are there because some of them are the ones who actually have the legal teeth for now. The division doesn't have the legal teeth, and that is why we're trying to get the bill passed, the Marine Park bill passed. So the police, the Coast Guard, customs in some instances, maritime, we have those stakeholders on board with us, and they execute every now and again to see, if we could stop some of these activities out at the park for now. The division is now trying to accommodate the police down at the Gibson Jetty, right? We started to refurbish an area there for them, right? The division is implementing a lot more, infrastructural wise, a lot of things that I can't speak about as well, so that we could have increased the monitoring there. But it also involves the Division of Tourism, right? The boarding usually comes from Store Bay and Pigeon Point and these points. So some management facility would have to happen in those areas where you have the boarding taking place, right? It's a bit confusing for me. If you know what your limit is in terms of boarding the boat, you know the marine park, the times that it shut down. The stakeholders are fully aware, you know, right? Some of them sit right on the committee and you know, they know all the individuals out there as well, right? And it's a bit confusing for me that you know the rules and you're still going to break them and put people's lives at risk. It's confusing for me, but that is why you have law enforcement, right? By now, everybody know that the Division of Food Security, we don't have all the money in the world, but we have been managing with the little that we have, and with the little that we have, we'll continue to implement those things that would increase the awareness of what should be done at the marine park. So this week, you're going to see, the public is going to see a lot of things rolling out. Some of which I prefer that the public, you know, they experience for themselves, right? Because when you're doing law enforcement, it's not everything that you would talk about. I remember after the police went across their customs and you know, they seized a lot of alcohol. They did a lot of things across there to ensure that people became compliant. And some of the stakeholders, very kindly, they asked that, you know, if I could make them aware of when they come in. No, we can't tell you when the police come in. Law enforcement don't work like that, right? They do what they have to do to ensure that people are compliant.
Okay.
But it's not that we're not doing anything. The committee has been, you know, duly constituted, right? We're going to see more vessels being deployed. We're trying to encourage people to, you know, get their captain licenses and all of that. So you're going to see ads going out there in terms of recruitment, right? So I think I'm satisfied with, given the short time, it could be about July thereabout, or August, that we had between then and now, given the mandate to set up the committee and to implement some of the strategies to get the marine park going. I'm hoping the management of it going, but I'm hoping that when we do our exercises, and I think the public, we have public buy-in by now, that whenever we have people engaging in patrols across there and some of the officers are armed, instead of politicizing it, understand what we're trying to do. They are doing their jobs and they're trying to regulate the activities out at the marine park.
All right. And it's a lot happening within the division, a lot happening under your purview. If you were to summarize your term in office in one phrase, what phrase would that be and why?
If I have to summarize it, I would say it has been busy. I've been consistent, and I've done a lot of sacrifices, right? So I would summarize it in using those three words. Immediately when I got involved as an area rep, I realized that there was a lot of things people wanted. And I had to sacrifice a lot of my resources. For example, you wouldn't see me carrying the straight hair and the braids. So I gave up a lot of these things so that I could do a lot of projects in the district.
The decision?
Yes, my decision of not buying the best of the best. Doing all the special makeup. I mean, I did this thing that you're seeing here. It's not professionally done, but everything that I would have.
But it looks good.
It looks good.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did well.
Yeah. Right? So, so I try to implement a lot of programs in the district to, curtail some of the, a lot of drugs and, a lot of violence.
I'm glad that you touched on that. What were some of the core issues within your electoral district that you wanted to treat with immediately?
Well, as recent as probably last week, you would have heard that in Kalahar somebody got shot and killed. He was my constituent, right? You had a lot of that happening in the district. And many people on the ground would say it's drug related. I don't know, right? I can't confirm it.
Investigations are still undergoing.
Yeah, I can't confirm anything. But a lot of it, they say, you know, is violence and all of these illegal things, right? I've never seen wealthy people doing these things, right? So I don't know what the attraction is to it, right? I don't understand that whole world. But I'm trying to implement programs that young people could do more positive things. Engage in different competitions. So we had a street beat cleanup competition. So instead of getting involved in negative things, you know, you could put your energy into more positive things that you can enjoy. So a lot of them enjoy, and because the district spans to Mason Hall, half of Mason Hall, right? Some of the persons from Bagatelle, right, they may not know what resources we have in Mason Hall or in Bacalet. So having to do these challenges across the district, you see the enthusiasm. I didn't know we had this here. I didn't know, you know. So now we have persons being part of the community, being part of the fixing of the community, and understanding all the resources that we have and how creative they could get. And it's an incentivized system. You know, so I like the enthusiasm coming out of the different community groups. We do sports because, you know, people love the football, they love all those things, right? People love the all fours. So I try to encourage, you know, communities coming together through these activities. Let me get to know each other, right? And that way we could look out for each other, right? The young people, I love to write books, and so I try to read a lot of my material to the kids, right? And a lot of it is more to the environment side, you know, protecting the environment and agriculture.
One would expect, yes.
But I love doing that, you know, giving them treats every now and again, you know, to see those smiles, you know, especially if it's healthy treats, you know. So I'm trying to encourage healthy eating as well. You know, have the children come out to the different field trips that we would have. So I try to, you know, expose them to a different life other than just the cell phone and, you know.
Yes.
But what I like about the competition, so I'm merging it, because remember we had to make these things sexy for young people. So the competition involves the voting online, but you're doing the work in the environment.
Right.
Yeah, so you're still getting to use your cell phone, right?
So it's a mix of technology.
A mix of technology. But the networking is important because you don't have to steal. You don't have to think about negative things if you want to do a project. You know how to write for a project. You know how to network, right? So that people can contribute to your development, to your group's development. And that is why having these community challenges and competitions and programs is important, because you're improving the skills of the persons within the community. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what major goal or initiative do you feel did not meet the objective? And I guess if given an opportunity to redo, you would willingly take that, take the chance?
I'm silent because I don't know of any.
So you've met the goals and objectives on all of your programs and initiatives?
I wouldn't say that I've met the goal.
Is there any one in particular?
It's an ongoing thing. Remember, you have people that think a particular way. They grow up, they've been socialized a particular way. And a lot of what you're doing, you're introducing it now. It doesn't mean that you have an instant change. Transformation takes a while, you know? So even development, I mean, the assemblyman before, Niall George, he would have spoken about how much money he would have spent in lighting Tobago on a whole, right? My district was one of those districts. Strange enough, it closed the town, but it was a black district. we would have gotten lights in Celestial View, Bacalet, different parts of Bacalet. Imagine that. French Fort, Cradley, a lot of areas in my district. But people still want more, right? And some people, they wouldn't think, okay, there are darker areas than my little street.
I want what I want. Yes.
You know? So I would never say that we achieve our goal because, again, people would always want more. They don't really compare what others need as opposed to what their needs are. And that is why sometimes we have to make a decision. And people might be angry at the decision, but somebody needed it more than you at that time. It doesn't mean that you wouldn't get what you want, you know.
Just hold some
But there's
shame.
somebody poorer than you, right? A few weeks ago, I had to assist a home, and I mean, I couldn't enter because if I had entered, I would have fell through, fallen through, given my weight, right? But there were a lot of little children in there, right? And I had to mobilize people to get the flooring changed quickly. Because you can't, if you apply for a grant, some child might fall in the hole, right? But then somebody else who had already needed something, so I had to say, no, you need to hold a little, just a little bit, because this person needs, and they don't have all the resources in the world, right? And that is how governance, I mean, you can't please, I know you can't please everybody, but it's what you see as an area representative that, you know, may take higher priority at the time.
All right. We still have a few more questions, but my director is whispering over there. You're grading yourself here. If you were to grade yourself, your performance over the last 4 years, what grade? A to F. What grade? And I know it's difficult, but what grade would you give yourself?
I mean, who would... I wouldn't want to grade myself, right?
But you'd have to.
But you're forcing me to grade myself. I think that I've been, based on the fact that I've been consistent throughout, and the amount of sacrifices that I've made, I would give myself a high grade, right? If I give myself a failing grade, that means I no longer need to represent, if you understand what I'm saying. So anybody grading themselves under A, they need to check themselves. Now that is how I think, eh? If I'm doing any project, any program, I'll aim to be good at it, right? It's not that I'm trying to be better than you, you know. I'm trying to just be the best that I could be,
right?
In whatever you give to me. That is how I think, right? So I would give myself a good grade, an excellent grade.
Which is? The top of the chain.
Yes,
the top of the line.
Why not? With more resources, I could do a whole lot more.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. But very quickly here, what is in place for waste management within the division? Quite recently, we saw the closure of RWL, which is Recycling, Waste and Logistics Limited, citing some main issues like the THA's alleged non-fulfillment of contractual obligations, end of grant funding, lockout and eviction, etc. Just to name a few. And that program has since been terminated.
Right. So the Division of Food Security did not have a waste management program. That is the truth. When I got there, RWL was an independent contractor, right? EMA, through EMA, they were getting grant funding. When they had the move from environment, from works to food security, right? Then I tried to find out about the entire program, and I was blocked out of it, right? I was told that the documents are his, so I didn't understand what was going on. Then I believe the grant funding, there was a delay in him receiving grant funding, and then he came to the division requesting assistance for the pickup and drop off of the bins, the refuse in the bins. So we had to jump in to help, because you would imagine we had a lot of bins across Tobago that needed to be emptied. But what we discovered, and we have evidence of that, is that he was stockpiling. So I'm not sure where the waste management, where it was happening. And it wasn't an eviction. What happened, it was in Tad Cosby, and the Division of Health came and cited them for that. So if you're stockpiling, then you have other things coming in there. And of course,
causing other problems.
Correct.
All right. But what is in place? Is there
the Division of Food Security is not a waste management division.
No, but in terms of
health.
recycling, yes,
right.
in terms of recycling and maintaining an environment, promoting a healthy environment.
Correct, right? So the environment part of the division is now under OCS, right? However, Mrs. Pantin again, right, will partner with all the relevant in order to execute the waste management mandate, right?
Okay.
The reforestation company, it's now under them, the whole issue of it has been moved under there. So they would take on the initiative of building out. And we already have proposals, reviewing them and seeing how best we can manage that situation. But it was an independent person attempting to do recycling. So it's not the division shutting down anything. We didn't have the waste management portfolio, right? It was an independent project. The grant funding was supposed to support elements of it. We had to jump in, all right, and assist. Even though the grant funding went to him, I cannot say what was done with the grant funding, right? But he's now not operating at Tadco Bay, not because of us, because he was stockpiling.
And there are other issues.
And there are other issues as well.
All right.
Yes.
Now, final question for you. And I know time flies when you're having fun. Final question for you this morning. We noticed that you've thrown your hat back into the ring. You're offering yourself up for re-election. You are the lone, this is interesting, the lone person. Is it that you've done, having such an excellent
grade A, right?
No, and I'm glad that you mentioned, because one viewer on the live says, and this is Jamila Bruce, Jennifer Bruce says, you deserve an A+. All right? You deserve an A+. You've thrown your hat back into the ring. Is it that you've been doing such a fantastic job that no one else within your electoral district has decided, look, I'm going to throw my hat in, I'm going to run again, so maybe I can do a better job. So you're alone there. If given a second term, what would you do? What would you like to see happen within the electoral district? What would you like to? I mean, you've done a lot, but
done a lot.
There must be some goal, some dream in your head. If I get another term, I'm going to do X, Y, Z.
Once we get another term, right? I've already started doing that dreaming. So that food hub in the north, because everything concentrated in the city. So trying to build a hub in the north where we could have some activity and economic activity. I'm trying to create those things.
Or the east?
Yeah. Well, no, the east. Listen, east got fire station. They got all kind of things. I want you to name what the north has gotten recently. Our prime minister is from Mason, and I'm not being political. And I think that more could have been done, right? But I'm now trying to see. We've had several consultations before we put on the hub to make sure that this is what we want up there, right? So I'm trying to spur economic activity across the space, right? So that the north side, we don't only develop the east and the west, we develop north side as well. And when I say north, I mean from Bacalet go up,
Yes.
right? Because he's claiming Bacalet too, right? But I want to see the young people have more centers that would bring out their creativity. Instead of giving people things, I want to nurture them into what they like. I want to see more pilots. I want to see another Capital of Paradise captain coming out from the north. I want to see a lot more, coming out from the north. So I'm trying to implement those things that would bring out the creativity. Of course, you have the regular development that people want. Better road, infrastructure, different systems, right, that we're trying to improve. But the grander things, those long-term things, those legacy projects is what I would be, I would continue focusing on, right? So the food hub is one of them that is being built in the north, and everybody excited about it, right? The building and almost done yet, and everybody wants a spot in the hub.
Okay.
You know, so legacy project.
Focus on the north. Focus on the north.
I've been focusing all over.
Yes, definitely.
Every area could tell you. Even right up to Charlottesville, we have been improving, whether it's fish facilities, whether it's nature facilities, whether it's technology facilities, agro-processing facilities, all over.
Okay.
But we have in the food hub in the north now.
Okay, let me just share with you some of what's happening on the live here. Faith Bremner says, I'm so proud of the work. I'm so proud to work with Assemblyman Letitia Charles Panton, such a loving, caring, and wise woman. We have a comment coming in from Wendy Ann Phillips, intelligent and caring individual. I give her an excellent grade. We have another comment coming in here from Khadijah Stephen, who says, Randy John, that's no part of the Mason Hall is her district. I'm not sure where that one is coming from. I'm not sure where that one is coming from. All right. Shirlene Frederick Turner says her work speaks so loud that persons expect her sacrificial service, that they just want her to serve. All right, and that's what's coming in. Development is needed in, development is needed in the north. Yes, yes. She definitely, development is needed in the north. All right, and some of what's happening in the life. So we want to thank you so much. But just before we go, Assemblyman, as you speak to the viewers and the members of your constituency, let them know why you are the best candidate for re-election.
I'm the best candidate for Bagatelle Bacalet. Bagatelle Bacalet gave me a chance at serving them, and I believe that, you know, being grateful for that opportunity. I mean, at first I didn't want to, because I wanted to focus on family life, but you, the constituents, you saw something in me, and I am extremely grateful for the opportunity. And that is why I have been giving back that much. That is why I have been consistent. And consistency for me is something that is often lacking in politics, right? I know politics has its place, but I believe that I'm the better candidate because I have been consistent as humanly possible. And the sacrifices that I have made, right, I believe that I can continue along that vein.
Right. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us this morning. Thank you so much for allowing us a little bit into your heart and in your mind, where your role and where your rules and your functions are concerned.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for being with us today.
Yes.
Well, viewers, we want to thank you for joining us for Beneath the Surface, Straight Talk, No Chaser. Join us tomorrow morning as we continue the discussion with another assemblyman on our set as we focus on some of the goals and accomplishments and, you know, just chat with them. Beneath the Surface, Straight Talk, No Chaser. Have a great day. Bye-bye, Tobago.